My specific purpose is to inform my audience about the evolution of fashion from the 1950s to now. The central idea is the different changes in fashion trends throughout the decade. Fashion has been around for decades, but really began to take off in the 1900s. The era was full of different fashion trends, and each decade seemed to have something new. Due to all the different styles, I chose to start with the 1950s and go to the present. According to the article, Fashion and Clothes from 50 Years, What Do You Remember by the People History, the early 1900s fashion was highly influenced by the economy and the war. If you're following my preparation outline, you'll see that I have 4 sources. The primary attributions are highlighted in green and the secondary attributions are highlighted in yellow. I will begin with the different trends in the 1900s. In the article titled The History of Fashion, Most Important Style Moments of the 20th Century by Crystal DeSouza, she says that the most popular pieces of the 1950s were poodle skirts, saddle shoes, chestnut bras, and cat-eye sunglasses. Pieces like poodle skirts and saddle shoes were mostly influenced by dance, and cat-eye sunglasses are still very popular today. The 1960s was a time of go-go boots and pearls. Go-go boots were fun and hip and started a more promiscuous vibe by showing off the leg. DeSouza's article tells us that mostly the upper class wore pearls and were considered very elegant and classy, and they still are today. The 1970s was a time of unisex clothing, tight tops, and bell-bottom jeans. The article Fashion Through the Decades by Hannah Kamal tells us. The 1980s introduced new styles that no one was used to, but everyone grew to love. Celebrities like Madonna introduced bright colors and unique styles, which brought a lot of life to this decade. Leg warmers and chunky accessories are just a few of the reasons this decade is very memorable. Kamal's article describes the 1990s as the decade of anti-fashion. Comfort was the main emphasis of this decade, taking out all of the uncomfortable pieces from the 80s. Most of the youth started the grunge trend that most people associate with this decade. I would also like to point out that most of the girls at the end of the 90s wore capris and strapless tops, which is making a huge comeback in today's society. The 2000s took a feminist turn, according to Kamal, with more patterns than crop tops and men wearing tighter clothing and activewear for everyday looks. For women, sweater dresses and ballet shoes were staple pieces in their wardrobes during this time. The Fashion Folks article 21st Century Fashion History 2000-2010 tells us that 2010 was all about layers and flow. This was the era of super cropped crop tops and very low-ride jeans. This article also tells us the year began with sweet colors, glitter, denim, and a lot of activewear. Although we are still in this decade, style seems to have changed from flowy to tight and from low-waisted pants to high-waisted pants. But activewear is still very commonly worn today. In conclusion, the styles are constantly changing while also taking pieces of the past with them. It is always interesting to see old styles become popular again. With styles reflecting the era, we never know what we might see next. I really enjoyed researching the evolution of fashion, and with more time, I would like to go over more of the decades more in detail. Thanks for listening.